gentlemen, Artie Quitter Podcast Debate Night 2016. The first debate between Hillary, Rod, and Trump. Hillary, Rod, damn Clinton, and Donald Trump. And oh my, that'll do it here from Hofstra, the final. The Clinton campaign, 85, the Trump nothing, and this was never a game. Holy living Christ. I have never seen such a trounce at Hofstra since Wayne Quebec's last game against Townsend State. That's right, he went to Hofstra, and they played Townsend State. And I was there. I got asked to go to a game because of a kid named Wayne Quebec. Scott player. Scott, like Megan. Megan takes the ball to his own 32. He breaks the tackle. He's across midfield, 45-40, 35-30. One man to beat the kicker. He's by the kicker. He'll score. No, he stepped out at the 5. Now a word from Toyota. Dan giving it up. Thank you. I have to address something. The setup here is I sit down at the table, and this is Dan's innovation. I was at the table first, like doing a sit down where you're talking to the mic and it's on a stand, and you're sitting there like Edward R. Murrow. With the original enclosure of comedians.
Including the smoking.
Yeah. Chris Cotton was here before he found God. Let's examine, let's do a little, where are they now?
Oh, God, no.
On February the 5th, 2015, I was just over pancreatitis. Dan was still telling me the narrative that he was going to find a place in 5 days. He moved in, $12,000 worth of podcast equipment. Dan's friend Ed gave us some suggestions. He'd later on give us another suggestion that he'd do us a favor and put us on his show, Radio's Bitfits network. And he said, here's the deal. You guys produce tons and tons of content, and I'll put it on my network, and I will have full clearance to tweet it about 50 times a day. Thanks, Ed. Let me take this opportunity to say thank you, Ed. And then when I had a show at Caroline's, for 3 weeks, Ed did not tweet it. Timmy springing into action. He was supposed to remind Ed as well. Tim, of course, didn't do it. Tim and I have an interesting agreement. I give Tim $1,000 a week plus expenses usually, and he does nothing. I'll repeat that. I give Tim $1,000 for every time I do a show, plus usually cash for expenses, and in turn, Tim, of course, does nothing. If I call him out for doing nothing, he yells at me. I guess you went to college in Rhode Island. You're right. You got me there. Actually, I'm sorry. Tim does do something. Hours before the show, he calls me up and he goes, what did you want me to do? Then he tells me there's a clock on stage. Caroline's was the first gig Tim ever did with me. My legendary road manager / assistant, Ted Knitter. Swear to God, that was his name. Guess what? I accidentally called him a couple of times. Ted Knitter. There's a K in front of the N, though. K-word. The Bloomies kid. You remember, Ted?
Yes.
The kid who... I'm not talking to you.
Oh.
Talking to the
well, I never met... Oh, no, I didn't
I'm talking to the 4 people who listen to us. The maximum exposure. So Ted was working with me, and he passed the baton over to Tim. He had it. He couldn't take it anymore. And Ted, by the way, got mad at me for being mad at him for doing this. At Sirius, we were going to Amsterdam. We had a vacation coming up. We were flying to Amsterdam to do a gig and then to go to a buddy's bachelor party. So it was going to be fun, work and pleasure.
In Amsterdam? That's where the bachelor party was?
Yeah, in Amsterdam. That's where I got the whore guy, the chick who, after the gig, I blew off my Jason Kaplan's, whatever they did for him, engagement party. They were at the Marriott, and I'm staying at a 5-star hotel. My sister told me about the Dylan on the water. And I told him I'd visit him, and I blew it off. Now, I got a whore the first day. I went to the red light district. I got like a 9, man. She was available. The cabbie told me, goes, yeah, you're here the right time of year. And it's like, if a bee doesn't go south and he sticks around till like it's like chilly, like now in September that they're kind of stupid, the bees. That was a theory my uncle always had. We were on top of a ladder installing an antenna. A bee would come around in October. He goes, "No, they're stupid now. Just do whatever you want." I'm like, what am I going to? What am I going to have a spelling bee with it? What are you talking about? What do I give a shit if it's stupid or not? My God. And yeah, that's how it was with them.
Now, did you walk up and down the street with the doorways there in Amsterdam and pick out the girl? Or
yeah, then we did that whole thing.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe how hot the chick was. And I said, "How much to come home with me?" And I said, "I got a hotel." I told the hotel. She knew the hotel. The name of the hotel is the Dillon. My sister would stay there. 5-star hotel. Oh, it's just really cool. Really cool. And yeah, you know, it was just unbridled rock and roll. Unbridled. No bride. And it was fun. We had good old-fashioned guy fun is the fucking point. So, yeah. So Ted had to have my passport. He made a copy of my passport. First of all, I needed my passport to go to Afghanistan. He was with me. A trip to London. He was with me. And this, I said, why don't you don't have a copy of my passport on file like that? Not even file. Just hang on to it. You ask me every time. Every time. He's like, "Sorry, I didn't know you were going to Spain every weekend." That's what he said. I wanted to kill him. And then a guy we don't even know, Gary, comes in laughing. He goes, "All right, you have to." An intern from another show used the copy machine. All of Sirius, the entire office, you're talking about 500 people up there, use the same copy machine. Interns, scumbags would come up there with Creed, bands. Comes in with my passport. Ted left it there.
Oh, God.
Ted left my passport on the communal, the fucking copy machine that all of the 36th and 37th floor of the McGraw-Hill building in Nueva York City used. That's everybody from race, creeds, and colors, all sizes, shapes. Pete Townsend's kid was in there once. He used it. Shady little fucking limey fuck. You're not your dad, Pally. You didn't write eminence front. Clap your hands while you're over there. I don't give a shit. On top of the Spain comment, the snidey little prick, and he's coming to Amsterdam with us. He leaves my passport out. The kid could have copied every piece of information. Luckily, he didn't. Unless he's living as me somewhere. And the chances of him not having a better life are really slim. Yeah. Oh, he was giggling. I was. Howard thought it was so funny. I go, "Howard, would you not get mad?" And he goes, "Yeah, I have every right to be mad." And that's when I fought. That's when I threw him. It ended up in a physical fight. God, man, he's lucky I didn't catch him. I was heavy set and I was moving fast. I was like Jerome Bettis. Look at the tape. First of all, the athletic ability it shows. I throw a root beer at him, but it was in a paper cup. If it was a glass, dead. Dead. I missed him by a little bit. He goes, he ducks, "What the fuck?" So I ran over there. Benji tried to tackle me. Nothing. Fred got out of the way like a smart guy. He's like, "I don't give a shit what you know." I think he played sound effects with a bullfight. Or the chickens, very Mexican person. Salma Hayek comes on talking about her movie. Bok, bok, bok. I love it. I love it. Of course, it doesn't happen today. No. No, it doesn't happen today, does it? No. You could be Salma Hayek talk about her dog in a positive way. Cats, inbreeding. You know what I'm talking about. So, Teddy decided to pass the baton over to Tim Sullivan, who I had met at a Springsteen concert with his older brother, rest in peace, Lenny. And, we went out drinking every once in a while. They came to a couple of gigs in Philly. Played at Electric Factory a lot in Philly. What a great venue. I hope that's still open. In the horrible area. But, God, what a great place to play. Perfect acoustics. They were in the show that night. And then one of the times I went back to Philly, I went to one of the steakhouses, and in walks Timmy Sullivan and Lenny Sullivan. Told them they saw me at the Springsteen concert. They worked for Bruce. They didn't want to bug me, and a friendship was created. They were in the Springsteen family, and said tickets backstage, blah blah blah. And I was with a chick that I hung out with for a little while. She became my assistant, Michelle. Beautiful woman. Worked as my assistant for a while. Beautiful woman. Worked as my assistant for a while. Beautiful woman. Yeah. So, we saw the concert, and they made me look like a big shot in front of her, too. It was great. That same night, I go home with Michelle to my apartment. We're canoodling on the couch because I think she ultimately liked me, but I guess wasn't into manatees. Nothing ever happened, really, but the closest shot I had of something happening, I'm not going to get into it. Down the shore, she hung a curve one night. She got sloppy. She got sloppy with, she hung a curve. Right over the plate. And I swung. I'm not going to say it definitely made it out. It wasn't like Reggie's third homer in October of 77 that I was at, where you could drop the bat, lick your hand, wipe it off on your shirt, and slowly go to a jog and get Thurman Munson to like you. After you say he's not the straw that stirs the drink, he can only stir it badly. You're that good. I'd say down the shore, I hit a home run, and I kind of watched it with one eye, and I was like, I made sure it went out. With me, I can lay down a bunt at any time and get a hit, but with me, you always make the throw. Always. Figure that out. So, I looked impressive. Lenny worked as someone who worked with Springsteen's tour management people. He was in the management area of the road. And he had worked for other bands. And Lenny was a great guy. What a great guy, man. I don't know if I ever did a full little tribute for Lenny. My God, he just a great man. Fun to hang around. Chicks loved him. The kind of guy who chicks gave him lap dances at fucking strip clubs. They come over and say, "Can I give you a lap dance?" I'm like, what the hell is happening here? And yet the last girl he dated was a fucking dunce. To quote Goodman and Lebowski. And his life tragically ended, Len. And I got to know him very well, but I got to know Timmy a little bit better. Timmy was around more, and I loved Timmy. And, I love them both. I met their parents. And Lenny came to a tragic end on the road with Bruce. And Bruce did, the right thing as he always did. Had this amazing memorial mass for Timmy, for Lenny. This had to be, summer of 2009. Or late spring of 2009. I think that's what it was, yeah. And 6 months before I stabbed myself. And I'm not going to get into any details, but I'll just say that Lenny and I, when we got together, had a lot to talk about in common at a diner. I'll put it to you that way. That's as respectful as I can be. He was a great guy and checked out too early, man. As my father would have put it, from the streets of Newark, checked out too early. And Timmy, informed me of a wake for him, and Springsteen was involved, and he said to Timmy, he goes, "Tell Artie, I know he's sort of known, and I don't want any ruckus at the funeral, the mass. So to ask him to come to the private wake that we have with the band and stuff, which was flattering of him to say that, and very thoughtful to think of me on any level at that point. So me and my mother and Stacy, who got to know Timmy and Lenny too, and were devastated, just devastated, as was Bruce. And I had a great conversation with Springsteen at that mass, and he knew I had my troubles from listening and hearing about the show. And about a year and a half later is when he called me. You all know that story. I won't trouble you with it again, but yeah, so that's the first time I got a chance to really talk to him. And and kind of a bond happened, and Timmy's still with me on the road as a road manager, which is great. So life gets complicated. Let's just put it that way, man. And that was rough to see someone like that. You get some wake up calls here and there, but I don't know. You think of all the time that's passed, like you talk about the girl you're with that night or whatever. They come and they go. They become statistics, as I call them. Statistics, as I call them. At the Mass, it was a packed house at a South Jersey church, and Springsteen gave the most insanely beautiful eulogy about Len and captured his sort of essence perfectly. And just not a dry eye in the house. And he was making a sort of obscure rock and roll references, and my mother was crying and laughing at everything. He's just got that brilliant storytelling thing in him. And, this girl was younger, and she wasn't a big Bruce fan, but she was after that. I'm like, I tell all these girls, just come to a show. And he was getting ready for the Magic tour, the album Magic. This would be late summer of 07. So we go home, and I think I got a shot. Magical night. Springsteen concert. Lenny and Timmy, clearly big deals in the Springsteen camp, are impressed by me, want my autograph picture, for quoting jokes I made. I'll say it again, quoting jokes I made. It's worth a third, quoting jokes I made. And this girl was clearly impressed. Very impressed. Actually, she wasn't, but I thought she was. And we're laying down on the couch here. And I might have told you this, Dan. There was another girl at the time. In between Dana and Adrian, let's just say, I kind of let the floodgates open a little bit on the road. Okay. That's the best way I can put it. I was swinging. I was there to play. I had 2 bats with weights on both of them in the on-deck ring. I wasn't on one knee like McCovey. I was like, Ernie Banks, let's play 2. All right, honey? You got any friends? Dick Lick? Let's play 2. And, so there was another girl, not as classy as this girl, that I met. And she had an apartment in Philadelphia, outside of Philly. What's the word for it? She was a, stripper. There's another word, filthy whore. Oh, I think that's 2 words. No, she was a great person. Just saw her the other day. Actually, she showed up at a gig of mine. I played the whatever. I'm not gonna. What am I doing? Anyway, no. I told the story before. She's the one who had the 2 little girls,
and you got involved.
We had fun.
Right.
I got involved. That's podcast, whatever. That's in the podcast. That's in the podcast annals. Pardon the pun. Yeah, I know, right? That was a good one. A good story. Yes. But yeah, I got involved, and I did what many people would call an heroic act. People throw the word, Dan, I think you'll agree, the word hero around a little lightly these days.
I voted you the CNN hero every year.
Thank you.
And they don't get back to me. Fucking Anderson Cooper.
Yep. Unbelievable. I don't know what you're talking about. Anderson Cooper, 369?
Well, they have at the end of the year. CNN has that Heroes show.
I just don't want to get into it right now. But I know. Oh yeah, right. I know. We don't want to get on a tangent. That was almost a tangent. Perfect example of a tangent. We don't have a tangents here. We have tangents. That's what Dan goes on. Got a lot of love on Twitter. We have to copyright that, by the way, like a whore guide. That's in Crash and Burn. I called the chick in Amsterdam a whore guide. And so we're laying on the couch. And I was dating this other girl. Like, let me say, it's not as classy. We'll put it that way. At the time, I had a voicemail here that's still like that. When someone calls and it goes to voicemail, when someone calls and it goes to voicemail, it's you hear the person. And me and the girl were canoodling. After all the groundwork I lay, I'm like, it's so hard. She doesn't want anything to do with me, and I had to try, really try. Whereas I must say, even as a C-list celebrity, on Stern, these hot chicks want to fuck you because you mentioned their website. Say you lie to them and say you'll get them on the show, whatever. Something could have happened. I wasn't used to. I had to work like I looked. That sucks when you have to work like you look. So I'm working it. All this work, and it looks like something might happen. And again, very classy. And I tell her, of course we'd be exclusive. I offered up that without her asking. It was very creepy.
Now, were you still her employer at the time, too?
Yes.
Okay.
Calm down. Talk about I'm receding like a turtle. What a buzzkill that was. Yeah, are you playing me? Yes, in both ways. Both of her jobs. So it's 5 a.m. The answering machine, the phone rings. Phone rings.
5 a.m.
And she goes, well, let's get that. I'm like, no, if it's something important, they'll say it. I doubt it. It's probably nobody. I said, it's probably a marketing call. Like, what are you talking about? It's 5 a.m. I go, well, not in Guam. It's not 5 a.m. in Guam where they outletted it, outsourced it. She thought that was funny. Very charming. I outsourced material. Anyway, it was weird, actually. I'm like, what happened? Somebody died now? This will be terrible. Okay. Voicemail goes off. You hear 30 seconds of some sort of loud rave type. You hear this like, your underwear fine, baby, get in my tub. I don't know what, auto-tune bullshit song by Pitbull or something. Loud. And I think whoever's doing this is in a club. But then the music goes down. It's a car. That was a tape she had on. Okay. And it sounds like other people are in the car. And the people sound like, I don't want to stereotype. They sound like, well, they sound like they might be not too happy with the situation in Charlotte. I don't want to say stereotypical. They sound like Blair Underwood. I heard this like, yo, tell that motherfucker we could come over there. Yo, that motherfucker got air conditioning. Yo, this motherfucker got air conditioning. Yo, I just Googled him. This fat motherfucker, you know? Fat motherfucker. No, I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. Me and the girl are canoodling. We hear that, and then I swear, this is a true story. I swear on my dad. God bless you, Dad. This is what you hear. I won't say the girl's name. We'll call her Pam. Oh, yo, it's Pam. Guess what? I just fucked Kid Rock, and he says he knows you. Can I come over? Call me. I'll call back. Bye. Hung up. Verbatim. That's what happened. Oh, hey, yo, what's up? Yo, I just fucked Kid Rock, and he says he knows you. Can I come over? Bye. Okay, listen. The girl looked at me like, what? Who was that? I said, would you believe it's my buddy who does a character? Running.
Fred Travelina.
Would you believe I wanted to that smart? I know. What's the Get Smart? Would you believe
Don Knotts?
Yeah, Don Knotts. No, not Don Knotts. Don
Adams.
Don Adams. Would you believe 2 inches? Chief, would you believe 1 shoe? I said, would you believe my friend's a sketch comedian and is running characters by me? Yeah. Okay, now, think about the statement, though. Think about what she said. Okay, I just fucked Kid Rock. Very believable. This was a hot stripper. She was a hot stripper hot, you know. A little too much rouge. And, like Danny.
And I wear no makeup.
Yelled, I know, Jesus Christ. So, yells that. Think about this. I just fucked Kid Rock. Okay, believable. Then he says he knows you. So she has to basically bring up my name at some point. How do I come up? Like, knowing this, she's probably like, I heard you go on Howard Stern sometimes. You know, okay. That's the only sensible thing. I saw her again. She never brought it up. I didn't bring it up. She was probably driving in a blackout. I benefit from blackouts. Yeah. And then anyway, can I come over? Bye. Are you bringing the guy who's going, yeah, tell him I need to use the bathroom. Yo, this motherfucker have towels. Yo, listen, baby. Yo, baby. You know what I'm saying? Don't make me beat you with a sneaker.
Oh, God.
You understand what I'm saying? Your kids home? Get them out the house, man. It's 2 degrees, Tyrone. Get them out the house, bitch. Get them out the house. My mother used to kick me out when she had business. When she had business at 5 a.m. She kicked me out the house. Look how I turned out. Great point. Yeah, whatever. You got a great point, your ass. That fat fuck was coming over. What's his name? Marty? Mandy? Artie, actually. Yeah. Fuck his ass. You know anybody else? Who's else? Your contact? Comedian contact? Who's Shuley? Call that motherfucker up. Call that motherfucker up. Okay. Who's Salad? Who's Salad? Stockbroker? Who's that? He's your friend. He's really a stockbroker. You got money. Can I buy some stocks with that? Call that motherfucker up. Call that motherfucker. He's still on the line. Yo, Artie, you there? Yo, Artie, you there? It's a friend of Pam's. Yeah. I'm the one who picked out her shoes. This is Cabrini Green. I'm a friend of Pam's. Yeah, so, it was an odd situation. Anyway, Timmy wanted to be in the road managing business. The road managing.
So you didn't close that night with the date?
No. Nope. Never banged her.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
I know, yeah, well, fuck you. No, she was married to one of the Dolphins. Anyway, so my life was very complicated. I don't even know how it happened. I don't remember anything from like 92 to like yesterday. Nada. And it's probably better off that way. I don't know how it happened. I don't know how I'm not homeless. How am I not homeless? Oh, by the way, my Donald Trump impression. Ready at the debate. Wrong. Taxes. Boy, did he blow it. Oh, my God. We just watched the debate. That was a trouncing. He did everything wrong. Everything wrong. I don't know what my original point was, but the other thing, but...
you were doing the Where Are They Now of the people on the Artie Lang show.
Yeah, Tim Sullivan. Chris Cotton was there. An enormous black man. Also a comedian. Spoke with a lisp. Very funny. He opened for me a couple times, did well. I overpaid him, of course. Not as much as a white guy, but I paid him well.
Oh, God.
I don't make the rules, Dan. I play by them.
You and Donald Trump with the taxes.
Oh, yeah. So, by the way, I'll go on record as this. If I find out Donald Trump has never paid his taxes, that makes him, let's see, the coolest guy ever. That makes him my fucking hero. The checks I've written out to this government are ridiculous. I haven't paid under $200,000 in taxes a year for the last 15 years. How's that sound? Look at this. I'm a slob. I have paid over $200,000 in taxes. $200K in taxes every year. It's 2000. Every year. Actually, this year. Well, no. I mean, right. This will be all right. Yeah. Under $200,000 in taxes is about, I'm going to say, 1998. 200,000. 1 year over 3. Every time I hit a pothole, I want to strangle a homeless person. Why is that not taken care of? $200K or over. There should be a room in Kansas in the middle of the country, a neutral room where I can go and get blown at any fucking time. And guess who blows me? Sarah Palin, Ivanka Trump. Yeah, I said it. I like George W. Bush's wife. There's something about her. What's her name? Patsy. You know what I'm talking about? The one that's
Laura.
Yeah. Elizabeth.
Laura the Killer.
Elizabeth Banks played her in the TV in the movie W. You know, that's doing her way a big justice. But so
So she kills her boyfriend.
What happened? Wait, no, Dan's trying to crowbar something in. What happened? Dan, the killer. Here's a tangent. He killed her. She killed her.
She accidentally ran over him.
I know. You think of Suge Knight. People mistake them a lot. So here's how we set up the podcast. I'll get to a little more extent. There's not a. I can't. I was gonna review tonight. This show is going to be about. It was supposed to be about. I'm going off on a tangent because it was supposed to be about the debate. The debate was horrible, boring, a trouncing. It was like the 55-10 Super Bowl when Denver lost to the fucking Montana, San Francisco 49ers, and Montana's last win with the Niners in January. I'll say it again, January, I believe the 25th or 30th. I had the pennant that said it. Of the year 1990. The 89 season. So technically their fourth ring, the Niners, with Montana. The fourth ring in the 80s. The year before was the good Super Bowl, remember? Sam Weiss?
Yes, Cincinnati.
Boomer Esiason said the Bengals. Yep, 2016. Last second pass to John Taylor. Slant pass over the fucking middle. Do you know how many times? Do you know how much money a Montana slant pass to Jerry goddamn fuckstain Rice and John go fuck your dicklick Taylor has cost this fucking wop over the years? I wouldn't even be working right now. There we go. Scat play. Montana drops back. Oh, slant to Rice. He's gone. And if you remember, in the 1986 NFC, no, playoff game, conference, yeah, because they won in the 86 when the first year they won it all with Taylor. They were 14-2 that year, and of course they got the bye. Their first playoff game before going to the NFC title game was against the Niners at Giant Stadium. 14-2 Giants had home field that year, and they were just the shit. Let's face it. Montana, in the first minute of the fucking game, I believe they got the first possession. Slant pass over the middle to Jerry Rice from their own 8. He had to go up about 90 yards, 90 plus. Slant pass over the middle. He's untouched. Outrunning Beasley, goddamn fucking Reese, and every other defensive back. And then the Lord shines down on the 1986 Giants because when he hits about the 30-yard line of the Gins, definite touchdown, all the momentum going towards them. It's a nothing fucking game. God comes down because he's untouched, because he's miles ahead of everybody. God comes down, and it's the only way to describe it. God came down and slapped the ball out of that fucker's hand. He made the one and only mistake I've ever seen Jerry Rice make. He dropped the ball out of nowhere, then kicked it like a boob. He looked Jewish. Okay? Jerry Rice. Every once in a while, you get a guy who's got no physical ability, but he has the most brains and the biggest smarts, and he's the smartest guy on the field. Then you have a guy who's got no brains, but he's the most athletic on the field. Every once in a while, you get a guy who's the smartest on the field and the most athletic. And then you have a guy named Jerry Rice. Unbelievable player. Not talked about enough. The Michael Jordan and Babe Ruth wide receivers. Best ever. In my humble opinion.
Who is the athlete that cost you the most money?
Dan Filato. Directly Mark Grace. Because there were more games. Michael Jordan.
Oh.
Yeah, Jordan, without question. Because I bet a lot on the Knicks playoff games. I don't want to talk about it. The Charles Smith game alone, I lost $8,000.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's right, fucker. Because I knew they'd lose the fucking series, too, because I bet the series and each game individually. I don't want to fucking talk about it. Unreal. And I'll tell you why indirectly. The 2 years I played baseball, I bet big on the Knicks when they got into the fucking finals both fucking years. And Akeem methodically takes their heart. because I said without Jordan, the Knicks are gone. It's close with Jordan, now done. Nope. The ghost of Jordan beat me there.
No.
Yeah, Joe Montana was a lot, but I was younger in the Montana years, so I wasn't betting a lot as much, and you got one game a week. Jordan kicked it in. I was making longshoreman money, and I was betting, I'd have $2,000 in the bank, and I was betting 5 G's on games. I was out of control. If show business didn't come in my life, oh my God. I'll get more into this when I do tomorrow's show. I'll actually tease a show. This is where we're organized. But I'll be giving you my review and my feelings about Norm Macdonald's new book based on a true story. A memoir of Norm Macdonald. As you know, my buddy from Dirty Work and the Norm Show. We did a bunch of stand-up on the road together where I opened for him. We did a lot of gambling together, had a lot of laughs. And Norm is very kind to me in the book. Talking about the first time he saw me on Mad TV and how he felt and how he fought for me to get that job, even though I was, well, let's put it this way, a convicted felon. No. And I'm proud to be in the book. I'm proud to be in a book like that. I'm proud to be in the life of what a lot of people think is in the top 10 greatest comics ever. He's getting those kind of props, and he should. And the book is an original twist on a typical memoir of a comic. It is so ballsy and risky and original and typical fucking Norm. And I'm not just saying that because he says I'm hilarious in the book. Or that my audition for Dirty Work was perfect. Or I had a melancholy that reminded him of John Belushi. I'm not saying it because of that. He gives me, and this is Norm doing me a solid. He couldn't possibly mean this. He knows how much it would mean to me. He compare me to Belushi. He knows what that would mean to me. He was making me happy through his book. Quite frankly, I did a great job on his films. And no, Dirty Work is look. Dirty Work has become officially Vanity Fair. Vanity Fair considers it a cult classic, cult hit, most underrated comedy in the last 20 years. I'm not going to argue with VF. I'll tell you why, because there's a John Hamm covered Vanity Fair that's been there for so long, and Dan has to slap it to it. Why is that still there? Why would you not throw out the John Hamm Vanity Fair?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
There's a Vanity Fair with John Hamm on the cover. Are you denying it?
Oh, you're right. I don't even notice it.
Yeah, you slap it to it in a blackout of ecstasy.
Oh, yeah.
You take Molly and you slap it to it. Why is the mouth cut out? Why magic markers say "take that ham"? I like my green eggs and ham. Hamburger. Want to go to the Hamptons? You fucker. But he's got a huge cock, right? Dan?
I only know from the papers.
I can't believe you just said that. You're like Trump. I baited you and you took it. Gay bait. I only know because of the papers. What the?
I have a...
what? Say it. Please talk.
I have a moderate temperament.
For what?
I have a good temperament. To be
I'm not gay. Suck me off. I'm not gay. Can I blow you? My name is Alice. I will take a dare. Oh, God. We tried to play it. The show, the movie Dirty Harry, it was on. Dirty Harry is amazing, and I know what Clint Eastwood was doing. Clint Eastwood is so great in the movie because they call it, and I know this from being in the business, they call something called movie small, which means, like when you do sketch comedy, like I'm a veteran of course, or improv comedy, or even in a sitcom, you tend to be Jackie Gleason or like loud, like you're in a sitcom, you're in a sketch, boom, 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 you're usually blustery. Even when you're speaking lower, it's for a live audience. You're looking for maximum stand-up comedy kind of laughs, and you're more energetic. But in a movie, you don't have to be. You don't have to be. You can be very like dramatic and lower. And Clint Eastwood was a master of that. And they call that movie small because it's not big. There you go. He does. I gotta take a leak.
Store and get me a pack of menthols. I love menthols.
Sean Hannity interviewed Donald Trump tonight. As Megyn Kelly cut to it, she made a remark that sounded a lot like she was dissing her pro-Trump colleague. Kelly said, "We've got Trump speaking to our own Sean Hannity. We'll see whether he speaks to journalists in the other room."
Oh, God.
And they took the clip down, so there must have been...
Oh, there was no fallout. Are we on the air? Are you recording this?
Well, yeah.
I don't care about you saying that. I'm saying, no, okay, we're back. But no, yeah, well, yeah, okay, so I thought maybe there was some fallout. There might be, though, if they took it off. Like, because Megyn Kelly's been playing this thing ever since him saying she bleeds from her pussy. She goes back and forth. She goes where the wind blows with Trump. Like, if he has a good week. And they made up with that interview where he did her a big solid. There's only thing I got ratings.
The rest of it was horrible.
That wasn't even that great either. It's just the fact that it was him. And she got rumored to have an $8 million book deal. Are you kidding me? I mean, who got her that? She became, way more famous after that. Now, Megyn Kelly is beautiful and she's great at what she does, so whatever. But $8 million, Jesus Christmas. Was she the great fucking Horsby? What a terrible joke that was. Made no sense. Yeah, so again, he did get trounced. But Nora's book, and my point is that tonight I wanted to talk about the debate, and, after I make this one point I'm trying to make off this tangent, I'll briefly wrap up the debate. There's nothing really to say. But tomorrow I will be, like I say, talking about Norm's book. And you say, why can't you do it real quick now? It's not just about plugging it. I really want to get into how impressed I was with it. Read the whole thing in under a day, which for me is, impressive. How effeminate and flimsy, and I swear to you, is Hillary's running mate, Tom Kaine. I assume he's a very normal, wife and kids, candelabra, piano player guy. No, I'm kidding. I'm just saying. Very feminine. And when he speaks Spanish, it comes out even more. And I'm perfecting this act I'm doing in clubs around the country. And this just getting such laughs just at the beginning. Nosotros los llamas. Muchacha es la presidente. Anyway, just weird shit going on.
It's Tim, by the way, not Tom.
Hello, I'm Governor Tom Kaine. New Jersey and you. Perfect together. He's in those commercials. Guess who also did them? Bill Cosby. I remember that. You come to New Jersey, who sounds like a lot like Uncle Frank for some reason. You are so stupid, Gina. We gotta take the retard test. Can you get a retard test from the pharmacy? You gotta take it. You see this guy? This is my Uncle Frank. You're saying. I thought we were talking about millennials before. That wasn't on the air. That conversation.
No,
right?
it was not.
We talk about millennials and their work ethic. One kid I was talking about in particular. Who I know. This is Radio Nowhere. And starring the extraordinary Fernanda Montenegro, winner, Best Actress at the Berlin Film Festival. Now, we were talking about a lot of millennials, some whom I've dated, and some who I employ, and some are both. No, they're a lot of them very smart because they're all educated. Schooling now, forget it. If a kid gets under 1,200 on his SATs now, he's retarded. I got it. Well, you didn't take him, right? You left.
Right.
But I think I got an 830. Yeah. Laugh it up. Terrible.
I can't tell you if that's good or not. I don't know.
Was kidding. You laughed. Well, you laughed like it sucks. So why'd you laugh like it sucks?
Just the way you said it was
okay.
I don't know what.
What a dick lick! How dare you? You're not talking to your friends at Cock Robin here.
Carvel.
Whatever. One has the word cock in it. The other one has a guy, a spokesperson who owns it, who sounds like he's got cock in his mouth. He sounds like someone came on a mouse and he swallowed him. It sounds like someone like Ron Jeremy did a money shot all over a laboratory.
Oh, come on. I'm not going to be able to eat a Carvel anymore.
You'll make it. Jizz. Matter of fact, you'll like it. You'll have a heart on it. It's like Ron Jeremy jizzed all over, blew his load all over a lab mice enclosure.
Oh, God.
And Carvel picked up one of them and swallowed whole. while it was, flattering around like a fish out of water by the fucking tail. I could see him evil, he comes all over the mouse. He picks it up live, and the mouse is trying to like get out of the cum because it hardens on you like cement, and he's like being buried alive, like, ah! Don't worry, I'll put you out of your misery. And he picks it up by a tail, and like he's naked and spread eagle trying to impress a chick who's going to work for Carvel. So, do you like ice cream? Let me tell you, sweetie, what's your name? Daisy? Oh, that's great. Did I tell you about my first time I fell in love with ice cream? Swallows the mouse. People wonder, I've talked like this since I'm 7 years old. That's the first time I discovered the delicacy of cum-covered mice. Cum-covered mouse. I used to say to my mother, who was cum-covered Miss Carvel. They called her cum-covered Carvel. Her name was Karen. They called her cum-covered Karen Carvel. She was a young hottie. And my dad, who invented the Carvel brand, because I'm a bit of an idiot, I invented the voice that's synonymous with the brand. And the way I got to that voice is, a lot of my cousins were a little flimsy, and I want to talk like them. A lot of my cousins talk like they were plugging a Richard Simmons tape. Move the card over here. Did you have the potatoes today? Yeah, really, let me come here. Let me punch you in the face. The only time I'd condone gay bashing is Richard Simmons. And he's a nice guy, because I met him at the Stern Show, and he always tried to get me in shape, and he was a nice guy. Only time I condone punching even him in the face is if he's, asking about those cards. What was that thing?
Deal-a-meal?
Oh, Deal-a-meal. What a scam. What a scam. These 800-pound people would lose 50 pounds in a day and gain back 80 in 2 days. Oh, Howard's Channel 9 show, one of the funny, talking about stuff you couldn't do anymore. He would have the people on that Richard was trying to help on television. He was the original one doing that. He was the original one to exploit them. And there's all these obese people who can't even move. And Howard kept going, you can't help these people. They're going to go back to food. And he's like, no, they're not. He goes, watch. And Howard had 2 of them on the desk. And Howard had an enormous actual-size fishing pole with an enormous full chicken. With a full chicken on it. And Howard was dangling it over the fat people. And they were trying not to look at it, because every time, and I was home with my friends laughing on a level I couldn't tell you. My nuts were fucking bursting. He had a whole chicken on an actual fishing pole, dangling it over the enormous people's body. I mean, these people were enormous, enormous. And Richard Simmons started to cry. Howard, what are you doing? Like he didn't know. What are you doing, Howard? What now? Oh, God. These people need self-esteem. What are you doing? I had the same issues as these people, you know that. And so did you, Howard. You're being so hypocritical. It was a guy and a wife. A guy and his wife. That's right. And eventually, once we passed the school, we had to calm down. The wife would... blow me. Hey. Yeah, so let's picture him in like just that red Carvel sport jacket they used to wear, and he looked like he was 111 years old. And him like all he's got on is a red sport jacket, right? And he's naked, and he's spread eagle. You can see the Carvel taint. And he's coming on mice and eating them. Come on in, I've just ejaculated on these mice. A little late night snack. Who are you? Oh, this one's a nasty one. Don't fight it, sweetie. Don't fight it. This is a little trick I learned from Roger Ailes when he originally took me to lunch. Roger enjoyed a good cum-covered mouse. I've got a trophy wife. I only tell my male applicants that. Dan and Artie, I've got a trophy wife. Trophy. And her name is, what is her name? Virginia? Yeah, something like that. I'm sorry. But I have a nickname for her. Yeah. Well, Karen. Karen's the nickname we gave her because we needed it to rhyme. No, you'll see why. We call her Cum Covered Karen Carvel. You see what happens is I have enough load in me. As Dice Clay says, my load is chunky style.
No.
You could hook up a hose from my nutsack to Biafra and feed Biafra for a year based on my loads. That's a Dice Clay bit. Norm Macdonald and I, quit telling you, Norm Macdonald and I were in, there was a period of time when we were waiting for the Norm Show to get picked up. And he was waiting for the first script of the Norm Show ever to be delivered to his condo that he lived in. Norm had this condo over by the Flint building. And we used to congregate there. And when Dice, before, he got the Woody Allen movie and had a bit of a renaissance here, he did, God bless him, he did what he did best. He did all gigs in Vegas. And he had a deal in Vegas, and he would release stuff on pay-per-view, specials. And he was pretty prolific as a writer. Prolific's a strong word. I mean, he was true to Dice, but it was really, he's a wordsmith and he was a showman, and he had a deal in Vegas making quite a bit of money, and we were told that's what it was by him. What are you gonna do? But it proved accurate because on that tape you see what's going on. That right there is Van Gundersloof. You see what I'm saying? I followed that case very closely. Very closely. And secret clandestine meetings like this remind me of Van Gundersloof. All right. Should we get out? Dan?
Yeah?
What do you have to do? You said do you have to leave?
I don't have to leave.
Okay. I was keeping you on your toes.
Where am I going to go?
That, Dan, is of none of my concern. So Dice comes on. And, I did it in the voice before, but so as Dice, he starts doing his stand-up. And it's a pay-per-view for the Mirage. He would do it, like I say, once every 2 months or something because he needed money. And, the Woody Allen movie was such a big comeback for him. So I say to myself, I'm gonna try to do this as a character. It's got to be bigger, not as subtle. When I do it normally for chicks. Do you have a standard pickup line for girls, Dan?
No, I never did.
No?
No.
Never? There was never one you used once?
I'm trying to think.
That's a good one.
Not really, no.
Yeah? Wow, that's interesting.
I always knew the women before I dated them, so
right.
There's only only twice did I just walk up to somebody and ask them out.
And what happened?
Both of them went out with me.
Really?
Yes.
And where are they buried? What, anything serious? Like a covenant job?
Yes, yeah. Actually, both of them. Well, I married one, and
oh, you married one.
Yeah.
And what about the other one? Black?
No.
Did you ever get black pussy?
I showed you I went out with a mulatto.
That's not black.
No,
well, no, in my neighborhood it is, actually. Actually, according to my uncles, that's very black.
She worked in Vegas. She worked at the...
I'm sorry. Where'd you work?
Oh, what's the Rio.
Binions?
The Rio. Yeah, Binions.
The Rio. That's
Yeah.
where I worked with Norm once. That's where they gave us a room with a pool. Literally had a pool in it.
What year was this?
99.
She worked there 96 to 98.
Real? Did she have a scar under her left eye?
No.
Okay. It's not her. She said something.
I did.
I mean, I had a blender. Look, it was a typical Tuesday afternoon at 1 in Vegas. I was making martinis that were frozen. And like a lot of African-American strippers, she liked a lot of sugar in it. I'm not going to get into it now. It's going to encroach me. Yeah, so me and Norm are sitting at his condo, and and Dice Clay comes on, and we rent the pay-per-view. So let's watch Dice. What the hell, what to do it? Because it was time he felt sorry for him in his career. He was not doing much, and you felt bad because he was out of the business, like kind of exactly like I am now. So
yeah, when you're just about to go on HBO.
Thanks, buddy. Well, I was trying to get Paige into a compliment. Sufficient. Well, I guess I got nothing going on.
I'm sure you'll have another third New York Times bestseller.
I guess, yeah, Dan. I guess, yeah. Well, there is the book. I guess. I guess the first two did all right. I guess they were well received. I guess. I guess I'm. I auditioned myself into a co-lead role in an HBO series run by Judd Apatow, where I play myself. I guess the pilot's named after me. I guess. I guess people who listen to the podcast call it the best one out there. I guess they do. I guess you're right. The book. I guess. I guess I'm still being grossly overpaid for Caroline. I guess you could say the promotional tour for crashing the HBO shows. I guess Health is another marathon coming up. They're preparing for it. I'm going to start earlier this year. I guess they said in Entertainment Weekly that it was the funniest scene of the film and voted the most popular. I mean, I guess. No, I'm very blessed to be this relevant at 50. I'll be 49, but I'm rounding up like I'm the direct opposite of a phony actress. Yeah, I'm 49 years old. Yeah, better. I guess they got to fact check it. Fact checking. Do you think fact checking hurt Trump tonight? And she kept yelling. She kept yelling that, but she just sounded annoying and condescending when she did that. The funny thing is, I bet a lot of people just still hate her guts. This might not mean anything to some people.
No, it's not. I don't think it will.
You don't think it'll mean anything?
No.
The debate, really?
No.
All right. So Dyson comes on, and he goes, my fucking loads lately are chunky style. They got chunks of fucking white in them. I don't even know what the fuck it is. You could fucking feed Biafra with my fucking loads. Right now, they're hooking up a fucking pipe from my fucking Bozak to fucking Biafra to feed the fucking masses of fucking shines. Oh. And then he said every time this was almost like his no respect or catchphrase, like hamburger. Every time he said, hey, Dice, they need to feed Biafra. I'm not kidding, Dan. He jumped onto the ground. Like Dice hit the ground. He was laying down. Kept hitting his right hand into the ground like he was slamming it. And his other hand with the mic, and he kept going, whack bag, whack bag, whack bag. Me and Norm were laughing so hard, I can't even describe it. We had hernias. We were I couldn't even fuck the black midget whore. No, I'm kidding. She was white. But no, it just struck us. We both said, like, I can't wait. We have to go out and tell people Dice is still hilarious. I mean, he would go. So he sets it up with the Biafra thing. He sets it up, with the Biafra, like Amy Schumer. The New York Times loved this bit as well, because he talks about gender. Whack bag, whack bag. So he sets it up with that by that, hooking up a fucking pipe to me, and then he would go, and then out of nowhere, a non sequitur, like a joke would bomb, and he'd go, A lot of them bombed. And he would go, and then out of nowhere, they say, hey, Dice, we need food in Biafra. And he falls to the ground like he's doing a military drill and goes, whack bag, whack bag, whack bag. Another fucking generation fed. I mean, it's the hardest I think I've ever laughed at a stand-up comedian. With the exception of...
Earthquake?
Well, Earthquake was great. I was going to say with the exception of the Heather Macdonald from the Chelsea Handler Show.
Oh, God.
Laugh if you want. Heather Macdonald, great writer for Chelsea. And on the old Chelsea shows, dominated the panel with a lot of great bits about her husband. Who's that, Michelle Beale? Is it?
Who? I can't see what you're looking at. What are you looking at?
Don't tell the audience I'm in a blackout.
No.
I was kidding. So, whack bag, whack bag. That really was. But anyway, so here's the setup. Dan gives me stories. Now, you know, I have this common theme that I goof around that Dan's gay, and I don't think he's gay. Big Cub fan. But Dan decides what stories out of all of the internet to give me. And if somebody he hates, which is everybody, does something tragic happens to them, he always has that. Like you can hear the giggling. Like if a comic he hates bombs or something, or does something embarrassing, it's always like the front one, out of nowhere. And it could be obscure people. Like nobody cares if Mitch Vitale bombed at the fucking Yuck Hawk. I happen to like Mitch. But some of them are just downright stuff only a chick would care about. Like, why would I... Okay, tonight, case in point. Out of all the stories, think about what's going on in the world right now. The debate, the baseball pitchers are dying. The debate. Monday Night Football tonight. I don't know what the fuck. Here's one of two stories give me. Exclusive pictures. Naomi Watts looks downtrodden while walking dogs. As she is seen for first time since split with Liev Schreiber after 11 years. What? I have to know. I overlook it sometimes because I don't want, first of all, a lavender Sharpie. He uses a lavender Sharpie. And I brought it up to you, and you still use it.
Yeah.
I don't care, but the optics are terrible. I usually let the gay stories go, Dan. I have to know. What in the fuck did you think I would care about Naomi Watts looking downtrodden? Do you, like a woman, do you want to goof on her looks? Like, you're mad at her because are you mad at her because she's a pretty woman and you want to look like her?
I'd fuck her.
You want to look like her. You're jealous as a gay guy is because you want to look like her. The way women are jealous of each other. That's why you're okay with Hillary and Elizabeth Warren.
It's just been a bad week for Hollywood marriages between Brad and Angelina.
Okay, what am I fucking? Who am I? Richard Simmons' gay brother? Are you fucking? I didn't. That's right. That's a perfect example. I haven't yet mentioned Brangelina because I don't give a flying fat frog's ass. I'm supposed to be surprised he's fucking somebody on the side. The surprise was when he'd be in an airport holding 5 kids. And her giving him a look like, don't you do something wrong, like smoke hash. And he's got to be thinking, what the fuck happened? I'm Brad Pitt. As a man, I'd get mad. I was mad because I wanted to live vicariously through him. I'd be like, as a guy, when I'm living my loser life, reading about Naomi Watts downtrodden, this is the gayest article ever. I'm Artie Lang. You're listening to the Artie Lang podcast. This Dan picks this story. You fruit of all fruits. Exclusive pictures. Okay, got my attention. Naomi Watts. Okay, I'm down. Not so much. Looks downtrodden while walking dog. Oh my God, the dog's a Brussels Griffon. The dog is a Brussels Griffon. Dan, you are gay. All right, I'm gonna give you another chance. Would you like to say something? All joking aside, Dan, what were you thinking?
I just thought,
how HIV positive were you that I like this? Oh my God, you fruit. Well, I hope my Coke dealer can get AZT. Answer me.
What?
Why did it's in front of me? Why did you put this in front of me?
I saw the picture and I thought.
You saw what? You thought what? Tell me.
I saw the picture and I thought because of the shit you gave me last week about Brad and Angelina.
Oh, no.
That I would put that in front of you.
No, the only answer is, Art, I'm a fag. And I was hoping you'd talk about it so I could get a hard on. Ooh, Liv Schreiber's on the list. I guess Liv Schreiber's on the list. What did you think would happen? We'd have a coffee clack? Should I go, ooh, so what do you think Liv will do now? What could possibly have... Look, picture, I don't give a shit. Naomi Watts is 48. When she's 22, I want to hear. Brussels Griffon. That looks like my sister's dog, which is a Brussels Griffon. Is that
Yes.
a Brussels? It is. You fucking fruit. You are a fruit.
I saw that picture. I just couldn't.
I don't want you using my bathroom.
I don't use.
Or the one of the fucking... Yeah, well, you're too close. Naomi Watts looks downtrodden. First of all, if that's what downtrodden looks, what do I look, dead? What do me and you look like if that's downtrodden? She confirmed her split with Liev Schreiber. This is the story. And Naomi Watts looks sad on her first outing since the shocking announcement. Shocking? Shocking? Schreiber's like a good-looking actor. It's shocking he fucking kicked a 47-year-old out on the street, gave her the boot. Shocking? It's shocking he stayed with her after 41. Shocking. I wish it was shocking that Dan gave me the story. It's not. It's downright fucking expected. Oh, this is or like if a comedian that he secretly hates, like me. You see, Art, you're losing in the ratings. Oh, he loves when ratings go down. Look. Ooh, this guy's failing. Look, he's failing. I love when somebody fails. Look what happened. He's failing. Look, his son has cancer. Did you see his son has...
That is not
Oh,
true.
God, I heard it's inoperable. Oh, it's inoperable. Did you see it's inoperable? Like, he follows up with the gay stories, too. About look, she wasn't really downtrodden. She has AIDS. She was downtrodden because of the AIDS. It's full-blown. It's full-blown. And Liv Schreiber's waiting on blood test. I hate him. Don't you hate him? No. Because I'm not a chick. I don't think about Liev Schreiber. Where do you see this? What fruit fucking website are you hooked up to? I buy equipment in there. That's my office, for Christ's sake. I used to get laid in there constantly. Now you're in there fucking downloading Liev Schreiber stories. In a related story, Liev Schreiber was walking down the street not looking downtrodden. Looking downright uptrodden. With two fucking chicks from... She's walking to Brussels Griffon. He's getting a blowjob from two chicks from Brussels. Named Griffon. Shocking news. The Brangelina news wasn't shocking either. I got fucking news for you.
I knew you were a fan of Ray Donovan. So
Yeah, whatever the fuck. Ray Donovan, who's he?
Isn't that show? You said, have you ever seen that show?
Oh, Ray Donovan.
Right.
I saw 10 minutes of it. I thought you were talking about a guy. I had to get that off my... I mean, so there's no explanation, right? There's no explanation. And the other thing he gives me, Trump's versus Clinton rival families. It's the cat fight. That's what he gives between the girls. That's what he's giving me. What the fuck? Or if like if a big comic bombs who he hates. Look who bombed. I hate him. Now my theory is you hate us comics because you're...
That is not true.
You want to be one.
No.
Who wouldn't want to be us? I mean, me, there's a lot of problems. But I mean, in general, my life in general.
After that Las Vegas story, I want to be you.
What Las Vegas story?
From last week.
Okay. There's a lot of negatives in there, too, though. The Vegas story that includes a newscaster going right on the air believing I was dead at 35 without fact-checking it. My girlfriend in a blackout hits a stripper. Well, yeah, it was kind of fun. Now that I think about it. That was rock and roll. I had the whistle suite, too, man. They gave us a big suite overlooking a pool. the Hard Rock in Vegas, or at least it was back then. We went 3 years in a row, and I went a bunch of times to stand up. I had unbridled crazy fun. I don't even know how to it's just close. I guess I knew I got a fraction of what it must be like to be Tommy Lee and Molly Grove rolling into Spokane. Or the Stones. That's what we were there. And again, Howard was in a relationship, and I was him. I was the guy. I was the star of the show because Howard, according to those strippers, because Howard didn't want to be involved with them. And neither did Freddie. And, there's Robin, there's Benji. I got to be the guy. Because, again, Freddie, in a happily married, just had a beautiful daughter. I was Howard to them. It was unbridled fun. No one had to spend it. That's a great line from Pope Grandchillers?
Yes, sir.
Stop it. I'm about to do it. Well, your instincts are terrible. I'm going to do what you just ruined. Thank God I stopped you. You gotta, again, I must be so hard for you to see the success. We got the promotional tour info that they want me to go on with them. They're so generous. We're doing tours all over the country. Probably HBO springing it. Private jet, I would assume, in and out of cities. I mean, there's time constraints. It's not a luxury. We need the jet. Time constraints. That Macdonald don't fuck around. And again, I've weaseled my way on a bunch of jets over the year. It is fun, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, may I point out on this tour, Judd and Pete Holmes in happy relationships. Guess who's the star of the fucking show for every whore on that tour? You guessed it. This fat ass. That's right. I just realized that. Oh my God, I just realized that. I'm Judd Apatow. Judd is married to a smoking hot chick. He's not going to ruin that. I'm not going to let him ruin it. And Pete Holmes. I'm the only other guy on the tour. You have back-end money in the show? Yes. Yes, Raven. You want to be on the show? Yeah, okay. Give me your number. And your cunt. Write your number on my balls.
Oh, God.
Stretch out my balls like the Dead Sea Scrolls. That's what they look like. The Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrotum. That's what they call my nutsack. It's seen so much false action between beating it and the few times it actually went into real pussy. A couple of trannies, maybe, I don't know. When the meatpacking district in New York really was not a Disney ride. Someone at Disney built a meatpacking district ride. No, the real thing. Where you fuck, yeah, if you had to, you fucked a tranny.
Oh,
a tranny named Danny. I wrote a movie back then that I pitched to Woody Allen called Tranny Hall. I don't know, Alfie. He said that your name... He said that you were in the Hells Angels and the Chingalings. Tranny and I broke up. And I don't know. I just think, I've just been so depressed. Tranny and I said, you used to have a cock and now it's a pussy in it. I said, listen, I need the fake eggs. Oh, yeah. Trivia question. Last shot at Annie Hall when he says that line, but I need the eggs. Very melancholy, sad ending to Annie Hall. I forget how sad it was. That's why it's so brilliant, though. You realize they broke up and there was no getting back together, even though she fucked Paul Simon. When Paul Simon is talking to them in New York and he's like, let's go back to the hotel, and he's got the spoon for Coke around his neck and he's playing with it, it's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's one of those subtle things. It's got to be based on a character Woody Allen met at a party. Like I always said that about Alan Will had to be based on somebody, and we heard he might have been based on Gary Marshall.
Well, it could have. No, it could be Paul Simon.
What are you talking about? Who Alan Alda's based on?
No, in Annie Hall.
What are you talking about?
Paul Simon. That could be Paul Simon. Could be that's why he got him to play that.
Oh no, I think Paul Simon's making fun of somebody. You don't think Paul Simon's aware that he's making?
I don't know. Maybe Woody Allen's making, because in those Saturday Night Live books, it was Party Central at Paul's house after the thing with the big bowl of Coke.
Well, yeah, okay, but that doesn't mean you're that creepy. Yeah. I don't think Paul Simon had to be that creepy. I mean, he's clearly playing a guy who's a creep, who's not a visual star, behind the scenes guy. He's like, go to my house. And, oh my God, if that's true, Woody Allen, my God, what an asshole, but in a funny way. Yeah, listen up, Paul. It's yeah, it's Woody. Yeah, I think it was good seeing the PJ Clarks. Listen, yeah. I still have that typewriter. Did you borrow the typewriter, Paul? Can I have it back? You said you had a sequel to Sounds of Silence. Well, I got to break my silence a bit. Yeah. Do you have it? Listen, do you have some time? Air Tranny Hall. We're working on it. Trivia, though. Where's that last scene?
At the restaurant?
Yeah, well, they have lunch, and he says, it was great seeing Annie, and blah, blah, blah. And, right after he said, she was dragging a guy to see Sour and the Pity, which I took as a personal achievement, and we met a couple days later, had lunch and talked and kicked around old times, and then he ends with the joke, I need the eggs. And he's standing outside. She leaves, and he's standing, and you see him through a window of a restaurant. Where is he in New York City?
Is that Lincoln Center?
Nice! Absolutely. It looks almost exactly the same now. It's one of those places. It looks almost exactly the same.
But that restaurant isn't there, is it?
It's now PJ Clark's. PJ Clark's.
Oh, that's
the original PJ Clark's. Oh, by the way, I got to find out. This is how I went in spurts when I was doing stand up and struggling before me MTV in the city. I was in certain parts of the city all the time, in like spurts. It was streaky, and for a little while, I was always on the mid to Upper East Side all the time. And there was a place where my buddy Mike Stafford, the guy who wanted to be the next Lorne Michaels, live on tape guy that I told you about,
right?
Amazing guy. He was a waiter. He waited at PJ Clark's, the original one, 3rd and 55th, and right behind that place on 3rd and 55th, in like snugged into like the corner, it almost was Michael's Pub, where Woody Allen was when he found out Annie Hall won Best Picture. That's where he used to play clarinet before the Carlisle. Every Monday night he played at Michael's Pub, which was right behind PJ Clark's. PJ Clark's may or may not have been run by people depicted in The Godfather. As we said in my neighborhood, if there's no such thing as the mafia, but if they were existing, they'd be a bunch of nice guys. Michael's Pub is no longer there. I want to know if PJ Clark's is. That's the thing, because both might be in existence, a West Side one and an East Side one. But great cheeseburger.
And there's a downtown one.
So there is?
Yeah, I go there all the time.
Where?
Yeah, Battery Park.
Oh, you're kidding me.
They have a great.
Well, that's not way downtown,
right?
I got. You know what, Dan? I got to take you by the original one.
I'd love to go there.
Yeah, it's. I used to go all the time because my buddy waited there, and he was able sometimes. I'd order a. Let's put it this way: I would order an iced tea with some extra sugar in it. I may or may not have ran into Liza Minnelli in the men's room doing the same thing I was. In a sequin gown. I swear to God. Her elbow hit my... Oh, I'm so sorry. I saw George Steinbrenner there once. They all went in the back. It was a legendary New York place. You could get a cheeseburger with broccoli rabe on the side. That's what I got. Until 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I love the one in Chicago. It was,
this is the original one.
Yeah.
So you got
because of the New York stories, I went to the one in Chicago like the first, and then I hung out there a lot because the food was really good and it was a really great place.
How do I stop you? Okay, so
fine, whatever.
I know before you got to you met somebody there or something. So
Jimmy Plant, Robert Page.
Okay, of course. I just don't care. So it was surrounded by huge buildings because the mob guys wouldn't sell out. Every other small building from the old days, in the 1800s, it was an 1800 building, sold out. It stayed there. So I want to know. I haven't been there in so long. I want to know if anybody knows it. You know what? We could tweet it. What am I doing? Google it. Is the original PJ Clark's on 3rd and 55th demolished? But anyway, about 10 years ago, or 7 or 8 years ago, they opened up a new one. Exactly. The restaurant they are in was what that was. And it was called O'Neill's.
Ah.
Now, here's the thing. O'Neill's became P.J. Clark's. But Woody Allen and Annie Hall are in O'Neill's at the end of Annie Hall. Woody Allen and what's-your-face? Diane Keaton.
All right, here are the locations.
Go ahead.
250 Vesey, 44 West 63rd, 915 3rd Avenue, and 601 26th Street.
915 3rd Avenue.
Okay.
3rd and 55th. So that's still there, it says?
Yes.
Vesey is way downtown. There's that many P.J. Clark's?
Yes.
Vesey is all the way down. Vesey is in Tribeca. So that's you're not in the downtown one. You're more midtown. You're at Union Square, you said, right?
No. Battery Park.
Oh, that's the Battery Park one.
Right.
Vesey's Battery Park. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you said. And okay, so Vesey's Battery Park, and the 915 3rd would be 3rd and 55th. That would be the one. So if it's still there, I'll show it to you. We'll go in.
I'd love to go there.
Okay. Greatest memory of that place? I go in to get my iced tea with sugar. It's 3:30 in the morning, like a Tuesday, and my buddy says to me, Jake LaMotta's here. I said, get out of here. And he was sitting, Jake LaMotta was sitting with a 28-year-old. This is 1993. He had to be 90, 80-something. He was sitting with a 30-year-old redhead, obviously a whore. I mean, it's so obvious. Rolling her eyes at his stories. So I think he was trying to impress her. So I went up and said, Mr. LaMotta. And he goes, sure, you can have my autograph. Sit down, kid. I'll tell you some stories. I said, okay. He goes, when you fought Tony Zale, you had to hit him right here. Because this is true. The blacks have a bone here. You don't want to hit him there. But this kid Farmer, who got arrested, he said the blacks had a bone. He was a racist fuck. I don't condone him. But he made a point, like Jimmy the Greek did. He threw him in jail. This is what he's telling me in front of the girl. The girl's like rolling her eyes. And, you probably like me from Raging Bull. I said, I go, I love you. He goes, yeah, I used to be, a regular nice guy. Now I'm Robert De Niro. And he had a shirt, too, that he wanted to bring. Can't find it. Anyway. Jake LaMotta and I and this whore talked from 3:30 in the morning till about 6. Just talking. He told me old boxing stories. Like, how do you got to fight Tony Zale? I was going to tell you that. Trying to impress the girl. And he goes, tell the girl how you know me. Well, they made a movie about his life. Oh, yeah? Which one was that? Lethal Weapon? Nah, I was me till I was like 60, then I became Robert De Niro. I had a fake laugh at that.
Now, were you famous at this point, or
no? It was 1993. I was a struggling comedian, and my buddy was waitering, who produced the group I was in live on tape that led to Mad TV. We were doing better than when we started out. It was just as stuff was starting to happen, and I was in New York every single night, and I crashed there a lot. I went to after hours clubs. I was broke. I was driving a cab and doing comedy in New York. It was such a fun time, man. And in many ways more fun than, when I got money and fame. I was worried, though, about the day I had to go back to loading trucks and ships. I was worried about keeping the promise to my mom. I had made too many inroads at that point. My mother wouldn't have let me quit. I would say, I might need an extension, but I got in 6 months early. I got the break, but no one heard she wouldn't let me quit. But I would have made myself. It was important to me that I kept that word. But so that worried me. But other than that, I was like, I don't know, I'm doing all right. And he was waitering there. And I would come in with the cab sometimes, too. But LaMotta talked to for you. I talked to LaMotta, and he left with a broad. And it was he left with a broad. LaMotta did. I think I could have. But so I met Jake LaMotta there, and he signed an autograph. And to this day, I swear to you, I hope it's in storage at my mom's house. When I moved, when I got my mom the new place she's in, I helped her with it. she put a lot of my stuff in storage because I lived in Los Angeles for 6 years, and then came back, and I moved to Hoboken to do Stern. So I lived, basically in L.A. from 95 to 01, and then came to Hoboken, and I just, I out in the garage of my old house, I just kept a bunch of my shit, and I had his autograph. He signed an autograph on the back of a P.J. Clark guest check.
Wow.
It said, "To handsome Artie, Raging Bull, Jake LaMotta." That's what it said.
Wow.
He goes, "Yeah, you handsome Artie. I'll tell you what, you try to take my girl, I'd have to punch you in the face." He goes, "When I was younger, I'd punch you in the face. Now, if you try to take her, I'll punch her in the face." I'm kidding, buddy. I'm kidding. He'd say to the girl, "I'm kidding." She wasn't even listening.
What did Dick Vitale call you? What was the
Smoking Artie?
Smoking Artie. Okay, I knew there was an adjective.
6 o'clock in the morning. I was so excited. Wow, that's another story. That's how I got into AFTRA, not SAG. I booked a commercial for Foot Locker, and I had to go up on one of my friends wrote it. We went up to another live on tape guy. We put him in a talented writer, the great Joey Nelms, working for BBD&O, and they had the Dunkin' Donuts account. Man, that was something else, and also then the Foot Locker account. It was like a dual thing, and they were trying to get me a voiceover for Dunkin' Donuts. The same casting agency did both Foot Locker and Dunkin' Donuts, and I went down to the last thing for this Dunkin' Donuts commercial. I didn't get it, but they said, "You'd be good for this Foot Locker thing, where you play an announcer." Because I did a character in the live on tape sketches where I played a generic sort of sports announcer. They said you could be that and interview Vitale, and you interview about Foot Locker. And I'm like, all right, we had to go up to Bristol, Connecticut. It was just as March Madness was starting in 1994. March Madness, no, 93. 93 again. That's when a lot of shit happened to me that year. I got an AFTRA, and then I got a SAG the year after. That was hard enough to fucking just do that. But this got me in. Because we taped 3 commercials that aired throughout the whole tournament. And then some were generic enough to air throughout the basketball season to like July. And that was good money-making shit. But I get up to Bristol, Connecticut. I have to get up early. Now, I'm living nocturnal at this point as a comic mostly. And I get and driving a cab. I did the night shift. At 6 o'clock, I'm beat. And I show up at Bristol, Connecticut for ESPN, and there's Dick Vitale. He comes down, and we had to go to a studio to record this commercial. And we get to look at the script, and he was a pro, man. But he was talking very quiet. Very quiet. I guess I should have known this, but he was saving his voice to be Dick Vitale. So he goes, "How you doing, buddy? What's your name?" I go, "Artie." He goes, "How you doing?" All right. We go to do the commercial. And he lulls me to sleep. It starts out where I go, "Hey, I'm here with Dick Vitale at Foot Locker, and Dick, what is your shoe size?" or something like that. And he whispers the whole time. And I say that, and because he was lower energy as I was, we had to redo the whole thing. But I say that to him, and he's a foot from me, Dan, and he goes, "Well, Artie, let me tell you." I gotta tell you what I shit my pants. I, "What the fuck are you doing?" And the director's like, "It's Dick Vitale." I'm like, "Well, God, he lulled me to sleep. God damn, did he lull me to sleep?" So they had to redo it, but the modulation on the mic was bad. So they had an engineer had to come down and do something to the microphone. And he was real nice about it. They apologized. They probably paid him big money. So he's like, "Fuck it, I don't care." So he said, "Artie, let's get some fresh air." I said, "Okay." He's wearing like a jumpsuit. Bald head guy, nice guy, but it was funny. So we had to wait to record it. And we had about 20 minutes, and we go outside to get fresh air, and I light a cigarette. Very casually on it. He goes, "Oh my God. Oh my God." I'm like, "What's the matter with you?" He goes, "Oh no, I feel we've gotten attached. You're a paisano. You're a paisano. I'm gonna call you Smoking Artie. Smoking Artie. You can't do it, Art. Stop right now. Stop now. You gotta do it. Stop now. It killed my father, killed my mother, killed my sisters. It almost killed me. It killed my best friend. It killed my best friend's dog. Secondhand smoke, I swear to God. Gave his dog in for seeing me. You gotta stop, Artie. Stop now. Kill my grandparents. Kill my grandparents. It's the devil. It's the devil. Tobacco company's the devil. You gotta stop now. I'm gonna call you Smoking Artie, Smoking Artie, Smoking Artie until you put the cigarette out, Smoking Artie. And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna call you Smoking Artie until I find that you stop smoking. That's right, I'm gonna follow you. No Google back then, by the way. I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna find you. You're gonna stop smoking. I'm gonna find you. If you start smoking, I'll be right behind you. Okay? Wouldn't mind you. He started rhyming like Tony Robbins. If he was a rapper. You understand me? You can stop smoking, Artie? Hey, smoking, Artie.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, calm the fuck down. I stopped for 10 minutes. I stopped smoking in front of Dick Vitale. So he did wonders. But then we went back in, and he was actually very affectionate. He was dead serious. He was worried about me. Oh, that's how I said. Oh, what? I thought he was having a heart attack. He was surprising me. I'm like, Jesus, I'm like 25 years old. I'm like, you know what? The money I've lost on games you announced. You know what I asked him about the first time I saw Shaquille O'Neal ever on television? I'll never forget it. Nationally televised game, LSU Georgetown. Whenever he was last year he played, sophomore year. He didn't play junior and senior year. He came out after sophomore. So he was a sophomore, beginning of that season, dominant. And national televised game, LSU and Georgetown. I didn't bet the game, but I said I heard about it. I said I got to see this guy. Dick Vitale's doing it. He's telling everybody he's the best in the country, baby. I'm the best in the country. You can't stop me, baby. It's national championship time. LSU doesn't stand for loser state, baby. Winner state. WSU. Look at the Shaq. Look at him. Military boy. Father was in the military. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not going to get, they're never going to call me for a 3-second rule. Never.
Yeah.
Especially the pros. No defense for me. Get it inside. Oh, baby, this Hall of Fame stuff.
Yeah.
Predicted everything.
Did they ever? They never won the national title. They had a great team too.
Nope.
They had a couple of.
Never won. They were favored. I think they were. I think for a good part of the season, and even I think into the start of the tournament. And I believe they won their conference title, but. Not positive, but even maybe in the start of the tournament, they were 1 or 2 in the country. No, I don't believe they either got eliminated or didn't even make it to the Sweet 16. But they were fair. They never got a championship at LSU with him, though. But this might have been first or second game of the season. It was a big, Georgetown had a conference. I think it was Georgetown. But, never won with them. And I don't think they won after that. Did LSU ever have a title? No.
I don't.
In the 90s?
Basketball, I don't think so.
I was pretty good with college hoops, too. I could tell you
But I know that they had a couple of NBA players on that team, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, there was the guard, too.
The guard.
His guard.
Was it, what was his name? Oh, my God. Hold on. Steven. What was the guard's name? Steven
the Shrug? No, I don't feel like talking about it anymore. No, you're right. No, but they were an amazing team. Like, you know what they compared them to? By the way, I don't condone racism. It was a stupid joke. That was for Steve Sorelli. Vinny Montag likes it. What was I going to say, Dan?
Dick Vitale.
They reminded people of the Michigan team.
Right.
The Fab Five. And only, with the biggest of big men. Anyway, so that was the Dick Vitale story in Bristol, yeah. So many fun memories. And that, I have a picture, by the way, of that, too. The Jake LaMotta autograph. Come on, it's a handsome Marty raging Jake LaMotta. Drugs and alcohol is the only reason I lost that thing. Because my mother asked me to pack up my room when we got the fuck out of there, and I said, I'm going to leave some stuff with you. Because I was back in New York, but I didn't know if I was going to be transient. I bought this place. I said, if I got to go back to L.A. because Stern ends, who knows? I'll keep this place as an investment or something else. I hope it's in there. I'll dig for it. It would be on my shit that I know exactly where I put the other pictures next to it because I saved other pictures. Matter of fact, pictures of that man cave. You know the Yankees giving the finger?
Yes.
That was right next to Handsome Marty. Handsome Marty was in that frame. That's where I kept it. So Jake LaMotta, when I got it, P.J. Clark's at 5 in the morning one night at the age of 25. And a few months later, Dick Vitale. I had a picture of me, Dick Vitale, and Joey Gnomes, the writer, my buddy, who also pretty much co-directed it. It was, an hour and a half shot to Bristol. Ever been to Bristol?
Yes. Yes.
Whatever. I couldn't believe they hung up there. Like, they can't put these poor guys in New York. These young guys who anchor guys, the ESPN, they're young guys out of college. They get that job. They can't at least go around New York and get laid. They're in Bristol, fucking Connecticut. What are they, sharp as a pistol when they do the Bristol stop? Oh, who are you smoking, Artie? Smoking, Artie. Then he gets low. He goes, I'm going to call you Smoking, Artie. My whole family killed my father, killed my mother, killed my grandmother. I'm like, I don't give a shit. They got me to stop. I forgot. It's Dick Vitale. I had the picture. I'll look for the picture. I know you guys. I'll tweet out the picture I found. And the autograph. The autograph's way cooler. Handsome Artie, Raging Bull. He was afraid the fucking chick liked me. That was a great compliment.
Yeah.
I said, I don't have $100 on me, dicklick. He was wearing $3 socks. They were different colors. Polyester $3 socks that were different colors. A polyester suit. He looked disgusting. He looked disgusting. But I loved him. Small hands. By the way, Dan. Okay, you know the movie. I got these small hands.
Yes.
He's got small hands.
Wow.
I said, I almost said out loud, he got small hands.
Oh.
Real small hands. Then you must have researched it. I think he fisted the girl under the table.
Oh.
He was able to fist the girl. He treated her like Tony Zale's forehead. He ain't pretty no more. I said, take her to the back. I come when you come out. She ain't pretty no more. Cute little whore. About 30-year-old redhead. Yeah, when you drank LaMotta, Jesus. It was kind of sad, you know. Should have more money. Anyway, so that's it. Dan with the lavender Sharpie and these stories he picks out. I don't get the stories he picks out. I don't get it. And again, the Apatow tour, they want me to go out with Pete Holmes and Judd Apatow to promote it on private jets when it comes out. And great, but Dan saw it and is clearly so resentful. So resentful. But we, in all seriousness, me, Danny, and Timmy, the Artie Quitter gang,
and we are gonna get in shape on that tour.
Well, listen, we're gonna be on the jet because you have a reason. Because the other great news, guys, here's Artie Quitter podcast news. I got to learn how to promote from Howard. He would be talking about all of this, and he's right to do it. Brilliant marketing. Stand up is going to be on the tour. That's me, Pete Holmes, and Judd. And maybe some guest stars because Sarah was in one. All comics are in them. T.J. Miller and these guys. It should be a fun time. But also, we're going to do the podcast. He's letting us do the podcast. The podcast, on top of being in the second to last episode with Sarah Silverman as our guest. On top of that promotion, where Danny's in that scene, running away with the scene, by the way.
Thank you.
Did you have a line?
Yes, but they have to pay me more if they put it in there, so they didn't know yet.
Well, I told them to keep it.
Thank you.
You get more money, too. You're fucking welcome. So, on top of that, and the fact that he subscribes and I think they like the show, is that it's going to be... Yeah. I think, the podcast is going to be at some of these venues. We're going to do stand-up at some festivals where they show a screening of the film, mini little premieres or the trailer. We do stand-up, the three, and then we do the podcast.
It's fantastic.
Yep. We did it, Dan. I came out of the hospital with pancreatitis. DirecTV tried to fuck us over. The best revenge is living well. Thank you. I always knew it. Guys, it's Ken Cole. I know people are harsh on you here, people, because of Artie's drug habit. They said Artie's a junkie. Artie's a junkie. He'll never be happy that he'll be an heir to wealth. And Danny stuck with him. And he stuck with him in a way I've never seen before. And I think we all owe an apology. Because we were like, no, you're not going to stay with him. You're too beautiful. You're too beautiful, Dan. Inside. It just, we achieved a lot here. We now have done this podcast at Hoboken, Montreal. Montreal, a big deal. Harry Mandel coming, JB Smooth helping us out. Gilbert, of course. It's hard to get Gilbert. We got a call. But in Montreal, and they said it's one of them, not the best podcast they did up there. We killed in front of an audience, and now we're going to do it at a bunch of these festivals for the promotion of an HBO Judd Apatow show. That is like pinch me. We did it. We did it. Only 305 shows. The show evolved. The show evolved. And hopefully so is Chris Cotton. I take that back.
I hope if we're in LA, we can get Liev Schreiber on.
Yeah, you are unbelievable. You know your mind is thinking that way. And again, what's great about the show is the diversification if I have a gay producer. Let me tell you something. I want props for that. I could get creeped out and homophobia and say, Dan, I'd feel comfortable if you never come again. Literally and figuratively. No, but I say, no, Dan, I welcome him with open arms. Come in. Even though an awful deception has been had. You deceived me and the American people. You were straight. Me and 1,400 people, including Vinnie Monroy. Oh, you got to write the stories, guys. The next thing, Vinnie Monroy, all you cats now. Embarrassing, Artie. I want you to write. I don't know. What would you write, Dan? If we were leaving each other's company, for good. Unlikely, but what would you write in a note? What would you write to me? Would you be sad?
What, that the podcast ended or something?
Our relationship ended. That, because of geography. You take a job in Guam. No, you take a job. The mortician thing comes true in Bahrain. Someone gets a Bahrain and goes over there. You have your girlfriend of 5 years in your enclosure. Dan will laugh at that when somebody else is laughing at. Disgusting lack of support. But amazing. So the podcast is going to be part of this. We are it's starting in early January. It's going to run for about 6 weeks. I'm proud to join Yusu Indoor, Peter Gabriel, Sting, Chimes of Freedom. Yeah, big promotional tour.
I listened to that today.
Me, Pete Holmes.
It's so funny you brought that up.
Me, Pete Holmes, and Judd. That's the only people. It's like the three of us. That's it. Do you know how important I probably am to the show? And to I've become the tentpole of HBO's empire. I said it. Game of Thrones. So we're going to do this. We're going to go, and I'll just stand up, promote the tour, promote human rights for everyone now, and let Dan's cell phone ring. Come on, that's quick. Give it up. That's quick.
That's great.
And of course, Rick Dorfman will get nothing. More on that later. Yeah, so it's going to be, because it leads up to us and what they're calling an Apatow block, a Judd Apatow block. First, the girls' premiere of this first show of their last season. Going to get a lot of attention, of course. And Judd's going to simultaneously do press. There might be some cross promotion. I think me and Lena Dunham are going to go bowling or something. And then, and I'll gladly do it. And then, of course, who else is promoting something? Nothing, I guess. Is that it? I guess that's it. I'm very excited.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
Thank you to Judd and Pete. I mean,
Chicago, San Francisco,
we're going to Chicago,
Los
San Francisco,
Angeles,
L.A.,
Boston.
South by Southwest is in Dallas. South by Southwest Comedy Festival. We're going to that too. And Miami probably. And of course stuff in New York. And I might do the talk shows with them where we go on together or separately. I'll certainly do them separately, but we might go on together to stuff like, I don't know, a place I've been a few times, The Tonight Show. A place where, guess what, I can hear the laughter. Unlike Freddie Prinze. I saw that fucking TV movie from 1977 right after Freddie Prinze died, starring Freddie Prinze Jr. as his father.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Oh, my God. How terrible. It made me want to cry. It really did. Are you surprised at my tears, sir? Anyway, the debate. I was a Trump guy. I was leaning that way. He looked terrible. She wiped the floor on him. He took every piece of bait. And I'll give you the moment that I optically picked up on that even Jake Tapper didn't say. And the Fox News trying to spin it, and they're doing a glorious job. But she wiped the floor with him. His hubris, if you will. His ego is unbelievable. Ego is everyone is right about this. It will not let him, not self-destruct. It's unreal. The bait he took. The subject of her emails has come up, and the server part of it specifically, what she directly lied about. And right before that, she was talking about his tax returns. Okay? She's talking about his tax returns and him not being... listen to... Okay, here's what... And I'll leave you with this because I can't even get a... This is an example, a microcosm of what he did wrong tonight. And it's such a rookie mistake. It means he shouldn't be president. The temperament thing was given... Okay, she's bringing up the tax returns. Bait. Lester Holt throws Trump a beach ball and goes, well, Hillary, in all fairness to Mr. Trump, there's stuff you haven't been honest about, too, like the server and setting up 2 servers, blah, 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 emails. Forcing Hillary Clinton to go, Lester, you're right, and I said, I'm sorry, that was a mistake. Forcing her to go from the tax returns to missing, to admitting to making a mistake, to saying I was wrong. Okay? And then she stops. Mr. Trump, you have a rebuttal. The last thing she's talking about is the server. She's apologizing. In other words, that's such a big subject. The tax returns is now ancient history. It might as well have been on the Nixon-Kennedy debate. Ancient history. And he goes right for the kill. I'm like, he's going to do it. She goes, I made a mistake. He goes, first of all, it wasn't a mistake. You did that on purpose. So true. You could hear the applause break. I can't believe you got away with that. Amazing. Keep going. Go. Lie to Congress. He can now tie that to everything. Not one of them stayed within the 2 minutes. He could have done an hour on this. An hour of applause breaks. The look on her face, it was like she caught fucking Bill Clinton with a cigar in the maid. Having a cigar with the maid. She was a deer in fucking headlights. And I'm like, go, you got him. You got the Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns punch. Keep going. You can now tie that to Benghazi. The families. That the most deplorable thing, pardon the pun, that she did is lie to those poor Benghazi people. Whether you believe she fucked up or not, she lied to those fucking families. It wasn't a videotape. It was terrorism, and it's been proven, and she was condescending in saying, well, they probably just, still messed up in the head. What? Terrible. He could have brought that up, all based on the server thing, that Lester Holt, a Republican, African-American, who wears very white glasses, very articulate, brought that up. Instead, after about 11 seconds of doing the right thing, this supposed genius of business goes, now about my tax return.
Right.
What? I jumped out of my couch. I said, what did he just do? What the fuck did he just do? It's like someone saying to Jerry Sandusky, he tells about the 4-3 defense, and he talks about the 4-3 defense for 2 seconds and says, now about fucking kids. Mr. Sandusky, you have some negatives, but let's bring up the championships. Thank you. I had a lot of fun creating those defenses with Paterno. I was an expert on a 4-3 defense. I like it better than a zone. I've said that. Now, that aside, I fucked a lot of kids, sure. What the fuck? He brought up the tax returns. He had her. And why did he do it? Because it was he wanted to show his ego, his fucking money ego. He did it because he was pissed. There was an ounce of fucking cloudy doubt that he might not be the greatest businessman of all fucking time. He had to prove that he never paid taxes, and he's proud of it. He had to prove he's got a great company. And then he said stuff people have heard him say 1 million times over. I built a great company with great assets. If I heard him say that one more time with the great assets, you heard that Kellyanne Broad's fucking pussy drying up.
I'm surprised Hillary Clinton didn't tell your joke about Atlantic City.
She might as well have at that point. Listen to that Howard Stern clip. Listen to me and Howard Stern with him. It's on the fucking...
played it.
Yeah. You could you know what? At the end, we'll play that clip at the end of the show. Real quick. Yeah. He came in and said the truth, agreeing with the New York Times, Post, and News by saying Artie was the best roaster there by far, which I was. I destroyed. Got voted best joke, best roaster there by all New York papers. Then we play the joke, and he feels trapped. Artie sucked. No, Artie's a loser. We don't talk to Artie anymore. So Artie's on the shit list. He goes back to the tax returns. Her face went from basically looking at, her cat getting raped to that goofy smile. Her like, a look like the Grinch when he figured out before the Who stopped singing. No, before the Who started singing. Oh, Miss Clinton, she got up and she put one ear to Trump's fight. And she heard the glorious song, and she knew she had him. This idiot. Everything everyone was saying you shouldn't do, she baited him easily. And now if he goes back to the server and email, it looks weird. Worst mistake I've ever seen. Politics. Your thoughts? No. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe it. I don't think Lester Hall could either. And from that, and that set the tone.
And you were like so down after that.
Listen, I don't like her a lot, but again, it's like this. I'm one of those Trump voters. I'm a felon, but I wasn't even a Trump voter. I don't know. Look, I know he's crazy. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to make jokes. I'm a comedian. I'm not political. I do jokes. If you see my stand-up act, it's very diversified. But I mean, I do believe in his spirit a little bit more than my Hollywood friends like Dan. So but after that, the tone was set. He was done. Everything he did looked ridiculous, and he got flop sweat during the interviews after, where he's lying about the internet, saying he won. No, they don't. I knew he'd do that too. And she had a smile on her face, man. She's in. You did it, Dan. Congratulations. Here's your fucking country. James Corden is winning Emmys. Yeah. Neil Patrick Harris is this generation's James Caan, and it's President Hillary Clinton. If my father ever came back to life, I've said this before, and I'll close with this. And he said, Art, what's life like in 2016, buddy? My son. I'd say, Dad, here's it is. I'll get a couple sentences also. Here's life in 2016. Every guy acts like a chick, and Bruce Jenner is a chick. My name's Artie Lang. This is the Artie Quitter Podcast. Take care, brush your hair. And with that, to hammer home a point, it's relevant. We'll play. This is from 2005. No, excuse me, 2004. In the fall, Trump comes in. This might have been where this I think is the episode later on where he talks about Iraq War. That could have been earlier, but I was in that studio for that too. I'd like to think I let him into it. I'm very relevant. But this is from 2004. I just roasted him about a month before and told the joke you're going to hear on this. And watch how quickly he turns on. The temperament thing. He blew it tonight. That's my review. And if you can figure out why Dan gives me these stories. Oh, by the way, no, Dan, I'll end with this. Naomi Watts looks downtrodden while walking her Brussels Griffon because Liv Schreiber left her. Okay? I'll give all you guys time to fuck each other in the ass. Unbelievable. I love the gays, by the way. It's not my type of story. Take care, brush your hair.
Artie did a great job at my roast, Howard. I'm telling you, he was the single best person. A lot of people thought you were totally bombed out of your mind. He was the best. I'm telling you, we had all these comedians.
What did he say about you that really hurt?
I don't want to go into it. It was terrible.
What was your best joke? Go ahead.
He was the funniest. Let me hear
two of the jokes.
Well, one of the things, there's talk about some Donald financial problems in Atlantic City, and I said that Donald took his daughter for a drive through Atlantic City and said, "Someday, honey, your name will be at the top of all these buildings. That's if you marry a guy named Borgata."
I had to bring this up.
That was a good one.
I had to bring this up. I'll tell you, honestly, the Atlantic City stuff is doing great.
No, I do it.
I mean, my Atlantic City. Okay.
All right.
He had to bring this crap up.
No, you brought it up, but
no, I had to bring you up.
It was nice of you.
What did I bring you up for?
It was nice.
I thought he was. I was trying to be nice to him. The truth is, he was terrible at the thing. He was terrible. He did a lousy job, and I tried to be nice to him. And this is what happens: you get hit. This is like Dan Rather.